Hey everybody, Graham here. So this is just a quickie to update some of the stories I've been following this week, and also to announce that at 4 o'clock this afternoon Eastern Time, I'll be doing my first ever live stream over on Dr. Heinz channel. He is another small YouTuber, although he has apparently had other YouTube channels before this. But I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description, and you can click over there and watch the stream if you're so inclined, and join in the conversation. We are going to be going through Nate the lawyer's complaint document against Christopher Boozy, and Heinz is a much more thorough researcher than I am, so he will have actual intelligent things to say about it, whereas I will most likely just bring my usual sardonic eye to the whole thing. I think it'll be fun. So, the big story of the week is of course Elon taking over Twitter, and some of the stuff from yesterday was pretty glorious. So he went to Twitter headquarters and immediately fired the executive board, which you gotta love. My understanding is that he fired the CEO, Paraj. He fired the censor-in-chief, otherwise known as the, I believe, trust and safety officer. He fired the CFO, and he fired the general counsel. This is from memory, I could be wrong. So that's pretty interesting. And then he dropped this tweet, which was just about perfect. And there was a rumor that he had fired the engineering team. And this was not true, or I don't believe this was true, but there were a couple of guys trolled the media beautifully. They came out of Twitter with boxes looking bummed out, and they gave their names as Ligma and Johnson. Ligma Johnson. Yep. I don't know who these guys actually are, but good on you. That was golden. The other story that I've been keeping an eye on is the Danny Masterson trial. So we have had testimony so far from Jane Does 1 and 3, a couple of LAPD officers, an LAPD detective, and I believe it's Jane Doe 1's husband. It's the husband of one of the Jane Does, who is evidently in the band Mars Volta. I'm not super familiar with them, so I don't know the full story on that. But he was giving testimony as well. I'm not sure what Scientology's defense strategy is here, or I should say, I'm not sure what Danny Masterson's defense strategy is here, because if you look at the testimony of the Jane Does and you kind of put it against the police reports, they seem to line up pretty well. And it sort of seems like the defense is going for the faulty memory or inconsistencies approach, but it doesn't seem to me that they're making a lot of headway. Like, their cross-examinations do not seem to be putting too many holes in the testimony. And when you consider the fact that this stuff happened 20-ish years ago, everything seems to be pretty consistent, and the story seems to be solid. And I'm basing this on what I've seen in the transcripts from the underground bunker. Tony Ortega, who runs the site, has been in court every day, and he is essentially being a stenographer. He's sitting there typing stuff out as fast as he possibly can, and they seem to be reasonable transcripts. Well, I'm sure there are typos and there's stuff that he's paraphrased. I really doubt that he's misrepresented anything or left anything important out. So, again, I'm not sure what the defense strategy here is. It's whatever it is, it doesn't seem to be working. Now, maybe when the defense moves into the affirmative portion of their case, we'll see something a little more solid. But at this point, it certainly seems to me that it's not looking good for Danny. And this is another one of those cases like Brooks where I kind of want to laugh at it, but I mostly don't, because if it's true, and to me, it seems to be pointing in that direction, that he actually did these things, they're horrible, horrible things. And if the things that he is reported to have said at the time are also true, then he is just a rat bastard. Because it does not seem to me that he ever expressed even the slightest bit of sympathy for any of these people that he injured. And like I said before, I liked his character in that 70s show. So, it's one of those things that it's just kind of depressing. Anyway, I do not think the live stream will be depressing. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've already read through Nate's brief, so I know there's some stuff in there that's worth looking at, even if you're not interested in the legalities of the case. I don't know if Nate wrote this or if Ron Coleman wrote it, but it's great. I love it. It's on a par with some of the things that Ben Chu wrote in the Johnny and Amber trial. So if you haven't read it yet, well, I'm torn here because I want to tell you to go read it for yourself, but I also want to tell you to come on the live stream and watch us go through it, and then you won't have to read it because we'll do it for you. So, yeah. So anyway, live stream, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 o'clock West Coast, and 9 o'clock UK, which is where Heinz is. And again, I'll leave you links, so hopefully we'll see you over there. And if we do, we'll talk to you then. Graham out. Bye.